Salve a tutti ragazzi, benvenuti in un nuovo episodio di Agatha Christie Assassinio sull'Orient Express. Nello scorso episodio siamo ritornati sul treno e adesso dobbiamo identificare le 12 persone che sono stati i giustizieri. Allora, adesso non mi ricordo più esattamente chi erano. Però alcuni sì, quindi quanti ne ho fatti ancora? Li ho presi tutti.
That's the right answer. If we eliminate the 12 jurors, we are left with 7 additional suspects.
7? It's still too many.
I agree. We must reduce our list.
Excuse my impatience, Poirot. It's as if my beautiful train is cursed. Can you exonerate any of the 7?
Allora, sì, perché no?
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. Book knows me better than anyone aboard.
Good.
Book worked hard to get me aboard the train. He is definitely not a suspect.
No.
Fantastic. Mademoiselle Locke cannot be a suspect. She pursued Mr. Waddy's murderer.
Sì.
No.
Non va bene.
It was Dr. Constantine who alerted me to the 13th stab wound.
Good job.
Dr. Constantine alerted me to the 13th stab wound. He is not a suspect. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. I have 4 suspects left who I must now examine more closely. Miss Nielsen, Monsieur Maury, Monsieur Fauché, and Countess Andrény.
One of my employees? Suspicious?
All 3 got off the train in Venice to restock supplies. Any one of them might have slipped away without being noticed.
I suppose. But what of Countess Andrény? You cleared her yourself.
She is cleared of the first murder, but we know little of her movements here in Venice, so we still have 4 suspects to interview. Detective Locke?
I can't join you, Poirot. My chief saw something on the news about the case and my involvement. He's demanding an explanation. If I want to keep my badge, I have to call him.
Then you must do so by all means.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I understand.
I'll make the call from my compartment. If you're looking for me, I'll be there.
Ok.
I hate to say this, Poirot, but I must. There is, of course, one other suspect with a motive for murder. The ransom money.
You mean Detective Locke? Then who did she chase? Who killed Aziz? We both saw the masked murderer standing over the body.
Ok. Facciamo uscire tutti i messaggi e poi ok, dovrebbero essere usciti tutti. Interroga il signor Michel, interroga la contessa, il signor Mori, il signor Fouché e la signorina Nielsen. Quindi cominciamo dalla contessa, guardiamo dove cavolo si trova. Non con questo. Allora, la contessa Elena Andrény. Ok. Quindi la contessa si trova nella stanza 205. Andiamo a vedere la 205 se è all'interno oppure no. Michelle è qua. successo?
Doctor, I need to question Countess Andrény.
I'm afraid that won't be possible, Mr. Poirot. The Countess had an anxiety attack when we arrived in Venice. She was terrified the police would come for her and her husband, despite how you concluded your investigation. I had to give her a sedative. She has been sleeping since.
You have stayed with her all the time we were in Venice?
Count Andrény begged me to watch over her. I have not left this room.
You're the reason she's in this state.
Bouc voted to absolve you all. I accepted his verdict.
I told her. I tried to reason with her. What she has already suffered, the strain of these last few days, it was too much.
I understand, Count. It's quite all right. I have the answers I came for.
Ok, lei è a posto. Quindi andiamo a parlare con Michel, che è qui.
Ah, Michel. I have a few more questions to ask you, if you will allow me.
Anything, Monsieur Poirot. We are in your debt.
Cosa ha fatto mentre eravamo a Venezia?
Please tell me your movements when we were stopped at Venice Station.
Once the compartments were cleaned and the linen refreshed, I stayed in my quarters.
Did you notice anything special? Comings and goings?
Monsieur Bouc had asked everyone to stay in their compartments. I would occasionally walk the train to ensure everyone was comfortable. Oh, I saw Monsieur Maury was all alone loading his crates of provisions. A great chef like that, reduced to petty labor, I would have helped him. But Monsieur Bouc had ordered me not to leave the train for any reason. So, Monsieur Maury was forced to labor alone.
Allora, linea temporale della notte dell'omicidio di
Let
Ratchet.
us review the actual timeline of the night of Ratchet's murder, not the one manufactured to hide your crime.
I left the train in Winkowski for a smoke. Then I resumed my post. That was the truth. The train departed on schedule. But then, of course, an avalanche of snow blocked the tracks. At 12:45, Madame Hubbard and I met in her compartment to discuss how to adapt our plan.
Due to the snow and Poirot.
The little play we had staged for you had to be rewritten. I left her compartment at approximately 1:15.
Then the curtain went up. Calls in the night, the red kimono, all for my benefit.
And all for nothing, as it turned out.
Do not blame yourself, Michel. I am the theater critic no playwright wants to see in the audience.
Ok, anche lui fatto. Dobbiamo Mori, il signor Fouché e il signore Nielsen. Guardiamo dove si trovano. Freya Nielsen, stanza 301, Fouché 302 e Mori 302. Quindi bisogna andare in fondo, oppure li troviamo a metà strada nei vari compartimenti. Quello è solo uno specchietto, non riuscivo a capire. Ok.
You play well. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you. Many years of piano lessons thanks to my mother. I try to play in a few clubs in Paris when I get the chance, but as you can see, it hasn't made me rich. What can I do for you?
Conversation only.
Cosa ha fatto mentre eravamo a Venezia?
Tell me about your time in Venice.
I had Monsieur Bouc's permission to see my sister. She lives in Marghera, just outside of Venice. She had a baby a few weeks ago. This was my first chance to meet my new nephew.
Monsieur Bouc gave you permission?
Yes, you can ask him.
Most assuredly, I will. What time did you leave and when did you return?
I left around 9-10 p.m. I was back by 10:45 p.m. When I got back, Hotaru was in a lot of pain. I gave him a back massage.
That would have been enough time to kill Monsieur Wadi and return to the train.
Quindi lui potrebbe essere un sospetto.
May I see your knives?
Of course, they are here.
If you don't mind.
Help yourself. They are under the bar counter.
Ok, dopo andiamo a vederli. Linea temporale.
Again about your poker game the night of the murder.
It's a regular game to help relax after a long day. Let's see, we started around 11 p.m. We took a short break in Vinkovsky, Hotaru, Pierre, and I. The game finished up around 2 a.m. We'd all had quite a bit to drink. Ah, yes, I left for about 10 minutes to refrigerate champagne for the next day. That must have been around 1 a.m.
Ok. Mi hai detto qualcosa di nuovo? Dobbiamo tornare a parlare con Book, però prima andiamo da Mori e dalla signorina Nielsen e poi guardiamo anche i coltelli.
None of these come close to the wounds on either body.
Ok, quindi probabilmente non è lui. Allora, qui non c'è nessuno. Ah, guarda chi c'è. C'è Book.
You told Fauché he could go into Venice?
Marghera, actually. Not so far away. It was his only chance to see his sister. He's been working every trade for weeks. There is never time to see the new baby.
Enough, Book. Your heart does you credit, but your common sense, it...
I know. But it's fine. Isn't it? He did come back.
Oh, it's fine, as you say. Unless he saw the baby, then killed someone else and returned to the train.
But that's monstrous.
Murder is always monstrous, my friend.
Ok, anche lui fatto. Ah, Mori è qui.
Good evening, Monsieur Mori. May I have a moment of your time? I have a few questions to ask you.
Of course, as long as you don't mind if dinner is ruined.
I promise to be as brief as possible.
Cosa ha fatto mentre eravamo a Venezia?
What did you do while we were stopped in Venice?
With Freya's help, I loaded fresh produce for the next part of our journey. Then, you may not believe this, but my job requires a lot of physical labor. My back suffers. Fortunately, Jean has become quite adept at separating my vertebrae.
Ok, posso vedere i suoi
As
coltelli?
you may know, I have solved the murder of Monsieur Ratchet.
That is a shame.
I beg your pardon?
The bastard sent my steak tartar back, telling John I was to burn it.
I will add it to the list of his crimes. One wound on Monsieur Ratchet's body was struck by a very sharp, thin-bladed knife. We haven't found it yet.
You think one of mine was used?
I'd like to have a look, if you don't mind.
In that drawer.
Ok,
An impressive set of knives, but their blades are too wide to have been used for the crime.
linea temporale.
About your poker game the night of the murder.
We started around 11 p.m. When John finished his shift, we played until around 2 a.m. From what I remember, it's a bit vague.
You played without a break.
Actually, we did break once for a smoke. John, Pierre, and I. When we stopped in Vinkovsky,
When was that?
around midnight.
Ok. Afferrano.
It must be worth a small fortune.
Ok, non c'è nient'altro. Qui non si può passare. Andiamo a parlare con l'ultima. (301) c'è qualcuno? Andiamo anche di qua.
box is secured by some sort of locking mechanism. The design is formed by 3 commas. What is the word in Japanese? Tamori.
Non lo so.
And it's obviously missing a piece.
Ok, chissà dove si trova il pezzo mancante. Ah, eccola qui. Prima voglio fare un giretto. Ok,
You can never have too many of these.
non era questo che cercavo, ma va bene lo stesso.
Good evening, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I talk to you for a moment?
Of course, Mr. Poirot. I'm not going to bed right away.
Cosa ha fatto mentre eravamo a Venezia?
Can you tell me your movements while we were stopped in Venice?
That'll be easy. I didn't move much at all. Let's see. I helped Hataru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hataru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
Posso vedere i suoi coltelli?
Constantine found a stab wound on Ratchet's body that was caused by a much thinner and sharper blade than the others.
Possibly a chef's knife?
My thought, precisely.
And you'd like to see my knives?
If you wouldn't mind.
I would gladly show you if I had any, but I don't. I use the regular kitchen knives. You may search if you don't believe me.
I see.
All the knives the staff use are in the kitchen or in the lounge, except...
Except?
Hotaro prefers to use his own.
Monsieur Mori doesn't use the kitchen knives?
Not usually. I know he keeps a set of traditional Japanese knives in a box in his room. He doesn't let anyone else use them. Although now that I think of it, he has been using the kitchen knives lately.
Ok, linea
Can you tell
temporale.
me exactly about your poker game the night of the murder?
We started around 11 p.m. In Vinkovsky, we took a short break. Hataru and Pierre went outside to smoke. Oh, and Hataru got sick around a few minutes past 1 a.m. 1:10 a.m. maybe? He spent about 15 minutes in the bathroom, but he didn't want to quit on a losing streak.
Did his luck improve?
No, so we played to around 2 a.m. He lost every hand.
I've talked to everyone, but some elements of the testimonies do
No,
not
infatti.
seem to correspond. I need to recheck a few things.
Ok, controllo i coltelli del signor Mori. Confronto con la signorina Nielsen. C'è qualcosa che non torna. Ok. Riproviamo. L'alibi di Venezia.
Remind me of what you did when the train stopped in Venice.
No problem. I helped Hataru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hataru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
I know there is a clue somewhere to prove she's lying. She is lying, but why? Mademoiselle, I believe you're hiding the truth from me.
What makes you say that?
Allora, Michelle.
Michel saw Monsieur Mori carrying the crates of food alone. You weren't on the platform.
I did help Hataru.
The entire time? He carried so many crates, his back was sore.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm guilty. I did leave him before we were finished. But I had to. There was no saffron he needed for a recipe. I volunteered to go into Venice and get him some. The Rialto market would be open late because of the carnival. He gave me money. I knew we weren't supposed to leave the train, but I only wanted to help. Mr. Mori can confirm this. Ask him. I saved dinner.
Ok, chissà se è vero.
On behalf of my palate, I thank you. How long were you gone?
I left at 9:10 p.m. and was back with the saffron around 11. That's when I called my supplier for the items I was missing.
Miss Nielsen had almost 2 hours to buy the saffron, find a costume, kill Monsieur Wadi, elude Detective Locke, and make it back to the train for that phone call. Yes, it's possible that was enough time.
Però,
Thank you, Mademoiselle Nielsen. That is all for now.
Sorry again, Mr. Poirot. I hope you enjoyed tonight's dessert.
ok. Guardiamo bene questo. Seleziona 2 elementi che forniscono un alibi al personale.
I must admit I'm not right this time. I do not think
Non ho capito.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer.
Ok, allora cosa? Che la signorina Nielsen non è scesa al treno Vincovici, per sé è rimasta sola negli alloggi del personale.
I must admit I'm
No?
not right this time.
Ok, anche questo.
I do not
No?
think that's the right answer.
Mettiamo questi 2 allora.
Any of the 3 staff members had the opportunity to kill Ratchet when
Ok.
Monsieur Michel wasn't watching the hallway. That's the right answer.
Bisogna ricontrollare i coltelli. Quindi andiamo là e vediamo. Però, dove cavolo lo trovo io? Qui c'è qualcosa. Allora, da cosa cominciamo? Ok. No, stai là. Non ho capito cosa devo fare. Ok. Non ho capito. No, c'è qualcosa che non quadra qua, eh? Che casino. Anche perché gira a caso. Allora, se io questo qui devo mandarlo in là, questo devo mandarlo dall'altra parte. Però va bene. Ok.
It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the
Sì,
side.
lo so, però non riesco più di così. Non ho capito. Perché si blocca lì e non viene via del tutto? Viene fin lì. Sì, fin lì ci siamo. Sì, ok, allora?
It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side.
Questo non l'ho capito. Torniamo tutto a parte iniziale. Allora, qui abbiamo detto che questo qui. Proviamo a lasciare così qui. E lasciamo tutto a cavoli. Ok. Bene. Cavolo, ce l'ho fatta. Ma che casino.
An object that looks like a broken comma. It must be part of something else.
Sì, e sappiamo anche a cosa serve questo. Dobbiamo metterlo qua, però lo faremo nel prossimo episodio. Grazie a tutti per la visione del video. Ciao ciao.